Hi everyone, welcome back. And in this video, I wanted to give you some information on effective listening skills. So, all of us, we tend to be in discussions, or even if you're not in a discussion and you're just conversating with someone, it's always good to have these good listening skills with you so that you can become a more better listener. So, let's get see what these skills are. So just imagine the first one is body language. Imagine that you're approaching a person and you just want to speak to them. But if at all they are showing you body languages like, they're not looking at you, they're looking somewhere upwards, they're looking downwards, or they're just acting uninterested, they feel like time is already running short, or they are busy doing their own work, it really sounds that they are not interested, and you would never feel you would want to even speak to them or tell them what's running on your mind or whatever you wanted to communicate with them. So, if at all you feel that way, then that's what you need to correct on yourself as well as a listener. So, whenever people kind of approach you, or whenever you're in a discussion and people are speaking, in order to be a good, effective listener, first always show that body language that you are listening. Look into people's eyes. Don't look elsewhere. Don't act distracted. Lean forward. Acknowledge, at least nod your head that you are listening, that you are understanding what they are saying, and that would help them to feel that they are being listened to, and they would want to convey more information to you. The second one is ask open ended questions. So imagine you're going to a doctor for a consultation, or you're just not well and you want to just get a checkup. And if you go to the doctor and the doctor keeps asking you closed ended questions, for example, do you have a cough? You're like, no, I don't have a cough. Then the doctor asks you, do you have a cold? No, I don't have a cold. Do you have an headache? No, I don't have an headache. So these are closed-ended questions, which where you say either yes or no, or you answer either one of a bunch of options. But that's not good. That's that you don't want in that when you ask closed-ended questions, it's more like you just don't want to hear more than what you're supposed to hear. You just want to get information to the point. And yes, sometimes you need to ask closed ended questions. But when you want to understand people's problems, when you want to understand more about a particular situation, at that time you need to ask open ended questions. Open ended questions help people open up more and to express their true self, their true feelings, or to express more about the situation at hand. So you can ask open ended questions. For example, if the doctor needs to ask open ended questions like, how are you feeling? Since when have you been feeling this way? Or since when have you been having this problem? If these questions get asked, the patients tend to open up more and give more details about how they are feeling and since when they have been feeling, rather than just asking, do you have a cold? Do you have a cough? And stuff like that. So, when you ask open ended questions, it shows that you want to understand more. You're more interested with the bigger picture and just not the key or just the immediate points that you want to hear. The next one is reflective listening. So, reflective listening is taking in information, understanding the meaning of what you listened to, and then telling the other person what you have understood. So many times we just listen, we act really interested, we act like we have listened, but question to ourselves or the people who are listening to us is, does this person really understand what I have said? In order to avoid these doubts with people, if you are a good listener, then you can practice this reflective listening. So, what do is you take in that information that you have listened, process that information, understand it. Now, it's not necessary that you understand it 100%, but to whatever extent you have understood it, kind of reflect that back in what you say. So, for example, you can use phrases like, what I understand is this. For example, I understand that you have been having a problem because the entire work of gathering data is manual and not automated. So this must be really frustrating. I see the issue is that manual work is the issue and that there is no automation in place. So, by doing this, the benefits are it assures the other that you are listening. So, if you're communicating something, at least the other person knows to what extent you have listened or understood. The next one is it helps you clarify your thoughts. So, let's say you have understood something, but it's not 100%, you have understood 80%. So to be a good listener you need to understand full 100%. Or let's say you have a doubt, you're not sure whether you understood it right or whether you got the point right. So when you reflect back what you understood, at least the other person can correct you and clarify the doubt and say, I think you got almost 70% of it, but the last part is not what you mentioned, and then they would explain what exactly is the right context. So it clarifies your thoughts as well as it helps the other to clarify their thoughts. So when you reflect back on what you understood, the other person would also be able to reflect back and see, okay, is this what really I conveyed, or was it something different? So there's a two-way clarification that happens when you reflect back what you have listened. And the last one is again super interesting, which is expressing empathy. So, expressing empathy is something that you do with an empathy statement. You express how you think the other person is feeling. So, we have all been, maybe at least most of us would have been in situations sometimes where we speak up so much, but at the end of the day or at the end of the conversation, we just say, you just don't understand how I feel. You don't know how it feels. So, why do people say that? Because maybe at some point in the conversation, we never empathized with them. We did not understand how they feel. It was always about information and no empathy. So it's very important that during a conversation, you show empathy so that people really feel that they are being listened to and they are being understood. So you can express empathy when you're speaking with phrases like, I definitely see that this must be frustrating. I totally understand how it feels, etc. Whatever happens, continue. I can see how you must be. It must be frustrating. So, these are some examples and some phrases that you can use to express empathy for the other. And when you do it, the benefits are it helps the other person feel safe, in a sense that they feel that they are being understood. They feel that people at least can understand them and they know what they are going through. It also helps the other feel that they are understood. Sometimes, if you just keep speaking up, but people have their own logics and their own reasoning, you just feel like no one just understands me. But when you express empathy, you're just assuring them in a way that you do understand what it feels to be in that situation. And it also helps the other person to connect with you more. So the more they feel safe with you, the more they feel that they are being understood, the more connection happens with you. So these are some of the skills that you can, maybe enhance as in order to be a good listener, and try implementing these in your next conversation with anyone and see how it helps you. And please do share your feedbacks as how did it go, and if you have any other tips, please do share it in the comments. So if you like this video, please do give this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to this channel and also do share your feedbacks. Thank you.